That's very interesting. I think trauma of various types is certainly a barrier to embodiment, as Michaela would say. My co-teacher, she talks about barriers to embodiment. Trauma is a barrier to embodiment. Well, why don't people feel? What stops them from feeling? Well, because it hurts.
Yeah.
Because it hurts. And one of the responses or means of operating when it hurts is to to disconnect from that hurt somehow. That's actually a sensible response, a necessary, sometimes I think wise mechanism of the body and the mind to do that. But the problem can come, and this isn't news to you or I'm sure any of the listeners, but the problem can come when we get stuck in a certain sense, in that disconnected sense, state. And then we're in a certain sense, the threat has passed. And the strategy that allowed us to, or our best strategy to allow us to navigate that difficult situation is still in operation. We're stuck in a certain sense. And so it's very difficult to sometimes lower that and begin to reconnect. And that's, I think, the province of trauma therapy, indeed, is the best place for that. Trauma therapy modalities, people like Bethel van der Kolk, Peter Levine, as you point out, Grimberg method, and so on. I know that some people are successful in navigating that through meditation, but not all. And sometimes what happens with people in meditation is to plunge through that liminal barrier into the that's underneath, and have difficulties navigating it, I think. So I'm not sure if meditation is always, depends on the meditation, of course. I'm not sure if meditation is always necessarily a reliable cure-all. And in fact, meditation can be used to further entrench the bypass, to actually reach states of non-duality or transpersonal states or states of emptiness or union or whatever is the case, that in a certain sense get you around the pesky
Guitar Scales Explained. Simple
pain
FAQ.
and irritation
Charts,
and
tabs.
dirtiness.
Guitar
dustiness.
Scales are the
of
June
life.
1st, 2021.
And so anyway, I think
Guitar scales are the building
in a certain
blocks
sense,
for writing
the
songs,
reason I like to separate
creating
embodiment
solos,
from
and even composing good chord progressions.
from processes
Learning
such
how
as
to use
trauma
guitar
resolution.
scales will not only help you improve
I
your
mean,
guitar
they're of course very
skills,
linked,
but
absolutely.
will help you
But the
become
reason
a
I like
better
to separate it,
musician.
at least conceptually,
In this
is
guide,
that,
I will answer the most
if
common
we
questions
mistake the idea that
guitarists
embodiment
have
is somehow
about scales,
a
how to
pleasant
learn
thing,
them,
or that
how to use
embodiment, when
scales,
it's going well, is
how to
somehow
practice scales,
connected,
and
or
more.
a sense of
By the way,
connection,
this
or a
is
sense of
on
peace,
Guitar
or a sense
Gear
of wholeness, or
Finder
a sense of being in control and so on.
/lessons
Then when we feel something
/guitar
isn't that,
scales
then that
explain
must not be embodiment.
simple
But as you correctly point out, if
FAQ
someone has pain or
charts
discomfort or even any
tabs.
kind of turbulence inside, I mean, who doesn't have that from time to time? You don't even need trauma for that.
No.
But then you might think, oh, this isn't embodiment. How do I get back to embodiment? Well, actually, you may be
I know
bringing
that many
embodiment that
guitarists
moment.
aren't
You're going to
interested
find
in learning
embodiment as
music
feeling the
theory.
sensations that we're
In this
building.
guide, I will explain
So if we
scales in the
reject
simplest way
negative
possible that
states
doesn't rely on
as
an understanding
somehow
of music
wrong or
theory.
incorrect, then I think that's not quite
Even if you
a
know
good
nothing
way of
about
relating
music
to that.
theory, by the end
Now,
of this
that
guide,
being said, if
you will
feel
know enough to
disturbed,
start
it's
using
natural to
scales
want
in your
to
playing.
return to a feeling of peace.
After you read this
Get to a
guide,
feeling of peace. If you
check
feel
out these
upset, you
useful
want to
scales
become not
resources.
upset anymore. There's
Ultimate
a
Guide
pain,
to
you
the
want to relieve the pain,
Pentatonic
of
Scale,
course. You don't have to deny
Ultimate
that.
Guide to the Blues
Pretend
Scale,
that's
how to
not
practice guitar
natural.
scales, exercises,
No, I
charts,
think that is a sort of
PDFs,
second step.
how to get better at
There's
guitar
no, sometimes
scales,
I say there's no informed
what guitar
consent
scales and
on
modes should you learn,
intimacy.
how
of
to
any
break
sort,
out of the
including
pentatonic box,
intimacy with the sensations of the body.
how to memorize
It's
the
like Forrest
fretboard,
Gump. You don't know what you're going to get, when you open that
table
box
of
of chocolates.
yeah.
Sometimes it's going to feel
What
nice.
is a
Sometimes
guitar
it's not going to
scale?
feel nice. There's no informed
Before we
consent.
start
It's the
looking
same
at
in
how to learn,
relationships.
practice, and
Really,
use
intimacy
guitar
in
scales,
relationships is
let's
quite
look at a basic
unpredictable. You
definition
never
of
really know
scales.
what you're going to get.
A guitar scale is a selection of notes that work
of any
well
kind,
together
including relationship
that
with the
you can
body.
use to write music.
So,
Different types of guitar
anyway,
scales,
so that's, I
e.g.
suppose you're asking
major,
about
minor,
embodiment. That's
pentatonic,
part of how
use
I
different
how I
selections of
see it.
notes and change the feel of
And
music you can write.
you did bring up
The above
relationships.
definition gives you
How
a
do
basic
you
understanding
feel
of
that
what scales
embodiment,
are without needing to know what music theory topics such as intervals.
helps with our relationships with
Scale
others?
is basically a bunch of certain notes that work well together and can be used to build chord progressions, write riffs, and
and how
solos.
to relate with others,
Music
how
theory
to
and
be the room,
scales.
so to speak.
If you're interested
and
in
kind
learning
of
some
meet
basic
others
music theory,
right where
check
they're
out
at,
this lesson on
you know,
guitar
and
intervals,
see them
explained
who
simply.
they really are, because a lot of the times
Intervals
when
are
we're
the building blocks of
relating
scales.
with other people,
So if you really
we
want to understand scales,
subconsciously have
a
our own
solid
agenda.
understanding of intervals will
We're
help.
subconsciously trying to manipulate
Well,
situations.
let's head over there.
We're strategizing. We want
Guitar
people
Gear
to see
Finder
us a certain way. We have a certain idea of what we want them to see us
is that
as.
slash or is that
And
backslash?
we also project
I
other
think it's
things onto
slash
other
because you
people.
go from
So this is kind of another
you go from
thing
left
that
to
I
right.
think of
So
in,
I think
in
it's slash.
embodiment is just collapsing back down to just being in the
Shit.
body
I don't
and
know.
being
That doesn't make any
completely
sense.
vulnerable and honest with people and being raw. And so maybe you could talk about that.
Love you guys,
embodiment
but
kind of.
the more I listen to you, the
With
more I realize that
relationships.
talking about this shit is useless. And yet necessary. Thank you for not spilling my drink. Guitar scales are the building blocks of music. Everything from chords to scales are built from intervals. This means if you can build a strong understanding of intervals, you will grow a strong understanding of music. In this lesson, let's take a very simple look at intervals and how they work. Music theory can often be confusing and intimidating to learn, so I'll keep everything as clear as possible. The diagrams will use both standard notation and guitar tab, so you can use whichever you prefer. I recommend having your guitar with you so you can play the intervals and the examples. By the end of this lesson, you will have a solid understanding of guitar intervals and will be able to confidently move on to other music theory topics such as chords and scales. You'll also be able to start identifying intervals in music you play and develop a stronger understanding of why certain riffs and licks sound so good. Video explaining intervals. I've created a video that gives you a complete summary with audio examples of guitar intervals at the bottom of this lesson. I highly recommend reading through this lesson, then watch the video for a complete summary of guitar intervals. Intervals will make a lot more sense if you read the lesson as well as watch the video. What is an interval on guitar? An interval is the space between two notes. There's a lot of jargon and confusing language when talking about intervals, but an interval is just the gap between two notes. Different distances between the notes are called different names because they sound different and give off a different feel. Here's an example of an interval. Okay. C, B, A. So we've got A and A sharp. Pretty sure. And for tab, it's going to be low E string 5 and 6. So that'll be. The first note you play in the above example, the 5th fret, is what we call the root note. This is the term for the starting point of the interval, by the way. Ugh. All will be well. I needed my guitar tuner. Thank you, memory, for finally coughing that up. It's pretty on point. Not bad. Thank you, Guitar Tuna. The first note you play in the above example, the fifth fret, is what we call the root note. This is the term for the starting point of the interval. You might have heard about root notes for chords or scales, e.g. the note C is the root note for the chord C major. The second note you play in the above example, the sixth fret, is the interval. This note is one fret higher than the root note. In music theory, we call this distance a semitone or half step. You may have heard one of these terms when guitarists talk about different tunings, e.g. tune the guitar down a half step. So remember, each fret you move up on your guitar, you're moving up a semitone or half step. Here's another example of a different interval. So we go from A to B. 5 to 7. E. It shouldn't matter whether it's the top or the bottom because I don't know how to read the tab. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be playing the low E string or the high E string. But it shouldn't matter because same tuning for the string, just different octaves. So, and we go from E and then E sharp, F sharp, G, A. I guess that is A. And then B. All right. But what happens to G sharp? Do we have a G sharp? Soy confusado. In this example, the root note is the same, but the interval is different. Now the distance or interval between the two notes is 2 frets. You can think of this as an interval, 2 half steps or 2 semitones. But as you can probably guess, another way of saying 2 half steps is to say a whole step. It's perfectly fine to say 2 semitones, but we can also say a whole tone. You can probably guess that semi means half. A note on music theory jargon and terms. While all this jargon may feel confusing, just remember that the distance between the notes is what matters. The terms semitone, whole tone, half step, and whole step are just used to measure the distance between the notes. These terms just make it easier for different musicians to talk to each other. For example, if you told a pianist or a violinist to play 2 notes and the notes are 2 frets apart, they won't know what you're talking about. But when you say the notes are 2 semitones apart, they will know exactly what you mean. To recap, an interval is the distance between 2 notes. The root note is the starting note of an interval. The semitone or half step is 1 fret distance on guitar. A whole tone or half step is 2 frets distance on guitar. It might be confusing seeing so many theory terms, but they will be useful to you later on. Melodic and harmonic intervals. Before we look at what different types of intervals are called and why they're important to learn, let's look at 2 ways intervals can be played. Once you understand the 2 ways of playing intervals, you will find it much easier to understand chords and scales. Melodic intervals. The 2 earlier examples of intervals are examples of melodic intervals. A melodic interval simply means you play the two notes one after the other. Here are a few examples of melodic intervals. 5/7 for third string. 5/7. I think it is supposed to be. Oh, okay. 5/7. 5/8. No, yeah. Uh, all the above intervals are melodic intervals because all the notes are played one at a time. Some of them are played on the same string, while others are played on different strings. The distance between notes in the above example are all different, but they're all melodic intervals. All that matters is that the two notes of the interval are played separately. To help you remember these intervals, think of a melody. On guitar, a melody is a lick or riff where you play one note at a time. Anytime you play one note at a time on guitar, you're using melodic intervals. If you play a scale, that's a series of melodic intervals. When you play a solo or lead line, you're using a lot of melodic intervals, harmonic intervals. The harmonic interval is when you play two notes at the same time. Here are some examples of harmonic intervals: 2 and 5. So 2 and 5. 3 and 5. No. Oh, that's why. Alright, so I was playing on 1. So that would be 2 and 5. No, no, not that one. All the above examples are harmonic intervals. You might even recognize one of the shapes as a power chord. The power chord is one type of harmonic interval you will learn about later. If you look at the above examples and think to yourself, these are just chords, you're on the right track. Harmonic intervals are the building blocks of chords. Melodic versus harmonic intervals. If you look closely at the examples of melodic and harmonic intervals, you might notice they use the exact same notes even if the note positions look different. The only difference between the two is the melodic intervals are played one note at a time, and their harmonic intervals play the notes at the same time. The reason it's important to know the difference between melodic and harmonic intervals is because they are used in different ways. For now, think of melodic intervals as the building blocks of scales and harmonic intervals as the building blocks of chords. When you play a solo on guitar, you're using a lot of melodic intervals. When you play a chord progression, you're using a lot of harmonic intervals. All right. We'll continue musical theory at a later time. Oops. You like that mango, Bob? I know I do. Fall in.
First time I've been invited to the lanes. It better be worth my time.
You see, that's your weakness, Marcus. You carry your chin so high, you fail to see the opportunity below.
Who are you?
You're looking for 4 children. The ones running circles round Piltover's finest.
And what about it?
Now, don't look so concerned. I'm about to make your day.
I still remember the look on your face when you found these. Jace, please. If I hadn't spoken, you'd be lost to me. I had to say something.
Magic saved your life.
Yes. But it won't save yours now. You need to let it go.
I could have convinced the council. If my own family won't help me, I'll find someone who will.
No, that foolish boy.
I must admit, his theory intrigues.
If dangerous ideas didn't excite the imagination, we would never wander astray.
Could it work? Could these stones really invoke magic?
Nonsense. It's far too unstable.
Could you stabilize it?
Me? Why would I? That only leads to more problems. And that poor boy has enough of them already. There. Come tomorrow morning, his research will be safely disposed of. Lock up. No. Magic is far too dangerous.
Let me live.
Yum.
Beautiful, aren't they? Yet, up there, on the surface, no one even knows they exist.
They're monsters.
There's a monster inside all of us.
What? No, it'll kill me.
I'd like to let you in on a very important secret I learned when I was was about your age, boy. You see, power, real power, doesn't come to those who are born strongest, or fastest, or smartest. No, it comes to those who will do anything to achieve it. It's time to let the monster out.
Come inside, patron. Now.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to...
I think you've done enough. You said this was a robbery. Did they take anything?
Hard to say. We don't exactly know what
This mention of magic has the people afraid. The culprits must be apprehended.
We're doing our best, Counselor, I assure you.
Your attitude makes me question if your best is up to the task. No, we'll find him. Don't worry.
We've conducted exhaustive interrogations. Furs and commerce were half the district. With all due respect, Counselor, don't you think we've pushed them hard enough?
Welcome to the last drop. What can I get you? 4 sub-rats will do. Search the place. While you're wasting your time, how about a proper drink? I'll take the strongest shit you got. Careful with that. Nearly forgot. I ran into an old friend of yours. He had some stories. You weren't always the peacekeeper, were you? Yeah, well, you can't escape the past, right? It'd be a shame if I had to put them on again. Cast irons, well, it's hard to clean.
You people down here are all the same, mistaking arrogance for bravery. You think you're standing up for something? But we all know there is a crime behind every coin that passes through this place. You're just a small man in a little hole the world forgot to bury. And I'm gonna bury the lot of you. You all okay?
No, we're not okay. They almost saw Powder. What if they took her?
No one is taking any of you. Never let that happen.
It's already happening. You heard him. They won't stop. We need to fight back. And if you won't, I will.
I've heard this kind of talk before.
Why are we here?
You still don't understand.
What I don't understand is how you can work with them. We were here. We saw what they did. I grew up knowing I'm less than them. That my place is down there. I want Powder to have more than that, and I'm willing to fight for it.
So was I. I was angry, just like you. I led us across this bridge, thinking things could change. If I hadn't, your parents would still be alive. I know you want to hurt the Topsiders for what they've done to us. But who are you willing to lose? Milo? Claire? Powder? Nobody wins in war, Vi.
What are we gonna do? The enforcers will come back.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
What's your problem? What's that? Another list with my name on it.
Yes, but only because you signed your notes. Every page, I might add. Little egotistical, don't you think?
Is that why you came? To insult me?
No, No.
Though
I
all the
was
wealth
intrigued by
men's
what you
minds
said.
grown,
I wish you the other one. Well, I wanted to
towns
talk
of
about your work.
ivy rose beneath my
It's not a theory. I saw with my own eyes
palaces,
what magic
pleasure mine to
why.
walk.
You have no idea how beautiful it
The
is.
summer wind could leave me incomplete.
No one believed me.
Oh, well, every soul hold my name in awe.
After Sydney, I was an outsider.
And truest love is always by my side. Praise the sun, grateful sons and daughters. My soul will never still be satisfied. It's not enough. It's not enough. I could walk the world forever till my shoes are filled with blood. It's not enough. It's not enough. Though I could live for all to lift them high, or spend a century seeking light within.
Why? Were you made?
Though I indulge my every dark desire, exhausting every avenue of sin. It's not enough.
I'm gonna walk this time. I know.
It's not enough. I could walk the world forever till my shoes are filled with blood. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Always remember that.
I could right all wrongs, ravage everything beneath the sun. It's not enough.
What the hell were you thinking? Going into the last
It's
one.
not
Do you have
enough
any idea what you've done?
I was getting
to
results.
make
You heard the council.
There is
me.
no stopping what happens now.
It's not enough. Never was.
Maybe it's not too late.
Awake my soul. It's not enough. Never was. Not enough. It's not enough. Could walk the world forever till my shoes are filled with blood. It's not enough. It's not enough. I could right or wrong, ravage everything beneath the sun. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm without me to love the truth. It's not enough. Stunning 8K resolution meditation now. Of the revolution, tap off at the gap. Deadpool self-awareness, loving parents, harmless fun. Backlash to the backlash to the thing that's just begun. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. And there it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. The Surgeon General's pop-up shop, Robert Iger's face. Discount Etsy agitprop, the Bugle's take on race. Female Colonel Sanders, easy answer, Civil War. The whole world at your fingertips, the ocean at your door. The live-action Lion King, Pepsi halftime show. 20,000 years of this, 7 more to go. Purple karaoke, Steve Aoki, Logan Paul. Gift shop at the gun range, a mass shooting at the mall. There it is again, that funny theme, that funny feeling. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. Reading Pornhub's terms of service, going for a drive, and obeying all the traffic laws, the Grand Theft Auto 5. Full agoraphobic, losing focus, cover blown. A book on getting better, and delivered by a drone. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. No. Huh. All right. So, fine, we'll go from here. Total disassociation, fully out your mind. Googling derealization, hating what you find. That unapparent summer air in early fall. Quiet comprehending of the ending of it all. There is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. There is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. And hey, what can you say? We were overdue, but it'll be over soon, you wait. And hey, what can you say? We were overdue, but it'll be over soon, just wait. Hey, what can you say? We were overdue, it'll be over soon, just wait. was a secret chord that David played and he pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. No, I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch, and love is not a victory march. It's cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. Now you never show that to me, do you? Remember when I moved and you and the Holy Dove was moving too? Every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Ever wonder what it's like to drown? The story of opposites. There's peace in water. I just hold in you, whispering in low tones to let it in. Every problem in the world will fade away. But then there's this thing in my head. It's beating. Beneath in love with madness. Fight. To survive. And all the while this question lingers before you. You're in love. It's funny. You could pass a lifetime without ever facing a choice like that. It changes you forever. That, thank you. Oh,
sound of the silence that allows for my mind to run around, with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that are told. When my back is to the world, I'm smiling when I turn. But what's oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Where the sympathy? Everybody wants to be my enemy. We don't have much time.
How did you find me?
I'm proud of you. Always have been.
I'm sorry, but this is the only way to protect the others.
Mama! You've got a good heart. Don't ever lose it. No matter how the world tries to break you. Protect the family.
What are you... No!
I'm guessing that's for me.
Are you gonna let us make the arrest or not? You'll oblige a doomed man one last smoke. Would you?
I'm not putting you away, Amanda.
The council needs its pound of flesh.
Without you down here, it all falls apart.
Benzo will handle things. Now, he may not have my devilish charm, but he runs a tight ship.
Xander, no! I can't do this!
You won't be coming back for a long time.
I know.
Why?
It's the only way.
What's happening?
Don't crawl back into whatever hole you came out of! Benzo, stay back!
You never did know when to walk away.
What?
Stop it.
This wasn't the deal!
high frequency. You have to crank it. Crank it. It works. We tested. We had access to equipment. It's being destroyed tomorrow. What? Oh, yeah, I meant to tell you.
That research is everything. My whole life. Maybe if we showed them the equations, they'd let us.
We need more than promises. We need proof.
Not enough crystals. The enforcers took them while they're gone.
Look, Noah and Hyman think there's left.
I wanna be king in your store.
No.
I wanna know
You heard
who
me,
you
Count.
are.
If we're wrong, that's to be right. Then
Why? Why would you risk this?
do you think it was
I
my
want
life
your heart to
ambition
beat
to be an
for me.
assistant? Scientists,
Boy.
discoveries, ways to make the world a better place. This Hextech dream of yours has the potential to do that.
Our Hextech dream.
I wanna be king in your story. I wanna know who you are. I want your heart to beat for me. Oh, I want you to sing to me softly. 'Cause then I'm out running the dark. That's all that love ever taught me. Oh, I pull and don't rush out. All out of breath now. You've got that power over. You've got that power over me. My, everything I hold dear resides in those eyes. Got that power over me. My, the only one I know, the only one on my mind. You got that power over me. You got that power over me. You got that power over me. Remember the lake in the moonlight. Remember you shivered and shone. I'll never forget what you looked like on that night. But I know that time's gonna take me, and I know that day's gonna come. Just want the devil to hate me. Oh, I call and I'll rush out. All out of breath now. You got that power over me. My, everything I hold dear resides in those eyes. You got that power over me. My, the only one I know, the only one on my mind. You got that power over me. You got that power over me. You got that power over me. And it was all in doubt. They were all around. So we had a way to never tell. You decided darkness knows you well. And lesson of love, all that it was. I need you to see you got that power over me. My mind, everything I hold dear resides in those eyes. You got that power over me. My mind, the only one I know, the only one on my mind. You got that power over me. that power over me. And I know that I let her down, let her down. You've got that power over me. My, everything I hold dear resides in those eyes. You've got that power over me. My, the only one I know, the only one on my mind. You've got that power over me. Neat. And I know that I let her down, let her down. I think that's about it for today.